All right, so we just finished testing around with Alexander, aka Water Alteisen, and this boss has a weakness to Electro. So people that have been pulling for Anis, rejoice! This is like a good opportunity for you to make good use of her. And let's get right into just telling you guys how the fight goes. Oh my god, I forgot my cubes. Did I forget my cubes? I did forget my cubes. Alright, take two. I've equipped the cubes now, but let's see here. Okay, so this is the strat, boomer friendly strat. I am gonna be controlling Noir, however you guys say it. I will be controlling Noir. So it is boomer friendly strat. At the very beginning, what you guys want to do is save your burst. It's very easy to just destroy those missiles, and here's the main reason why. You want to time your burst the moment you get in here and try to just like destroy these missiles. So here's the thing, right? Those turrets will target the highest attack unit, and so I would say they would target like twice in their like full rotation before they stop attacking. But you can make it so that you destroy one and then they kind of respawn again and then you destroy again the other. That's kind of how I feel like is kind of like their rotation. But what you guys want to do is you also want to destroy them as fast as possible, because unlike other solo raid, the turrets actually give a lot of points. I'm already at 200 mil and the fight just started. So you guys really want to destroy these body parts 100%. And again, I'm just controlling you guys. This is our boomer friendly guide. I talked about it, and that's this is your boomer friendly. I'm controlling Nor, but let me show you 1 second real quick. You go look if you can target the core here if you have Pierce. Cut the tape. Cut the tape. All right. Anyways, again, another timing. So usually you can burst twice on the left side, and then you go on the right side, and you can go back again to the one who you bursted first. Which in this situation, Alice. So yeah, boomer hands. Okay, chat. Listen, nobody. Anyways, so here, and as you can see, my Alice is getting targeted because she has the highest attack compared to like Modernia, and that's because my Alice is she has a 30% attack, and my Modernia doesn't have any attack percentage. I think she has only one. Yeah, yeah. In any case, they are targeting my Alice. Oh, especially when you're bursting. Yeah, yeah, that's right. When you're bursting, Alice has attack percentage. That's why they were targeting it. And anyways, again, try your best to just destroy as many parts as you can. I'm already 500 mil right now, and I think other people, if they used other teams, they would have like gotten a lot more. And after you go probably about 2 rotations of burst on the right side, you go back to the left side. Now again here, you have either 2 options here. I could burst with Modernia or I could burst with Alice, but the thing is like the turrets on this left side are gonna respawn, and I really want to save my Alice burst, but I also don't want to burst with Modernia because Modernia lasts for 15 seconds and the turrets are gonna respawn. So in this situation, I will make a conscious decision to just save my burst for the next rotation. Actually, I accidentally used already blank, so I'm gonna slow down a little bit here. Okay. It's a little bit bad. It just ended up for some reason my timing on the burst here. Okay. Okay. So and then Alice has burst. So whoever's your main DPS or your top DPS, ideally they would burst and deal damage during that. Once you kind of pass through that situation, left, right, and then left, you have now a situation here at which is like enter phase 2, which is pretty much it. The moment you reach this part, it is pretty much home run, like just take it home. Like it's super easy. and you only really have to worry about this part where he's gonna have a QTE, and you know, obviously just have your units constantly shoot during that. And again, core shot here. Okay, there you go, core shot. Finally. Okay. But yeah, core shot is right there. If you guys have pierce, so the thing is, like, you cannot really shoot that normally, but you need the pierce unit. So you could do it with Snow White. You could do that with Alice, Maxwell. It works on all those situations. Then around 30 seconds left, when you have 30 seconds left, 32 seconds left, you enter phase 3. And this is phase 3 is pretty much similar to if you have done the train. It's pretty straightforward. You just kind of shoot there. The easier part on this one is it's easy to destroy the circles. So it's not really concerning. If you have AoE, you can kind of ignore some of the missiles and then last 4 seconds, and then you can just keep focusing here. But yeah, so that's the general gist of the fight. I think the pretty much important thing in here is getting the kind of your team composition, because it does get tricky on the first part. Once you get to phase 2 and phase 3, it's pretty easy, but for the first phase is pretty that one is pretty challenging. So now let me just show another team that I could show you in this situation. And for you guys who have like have Sin Rejoice, this is your first. Finally, there is a chance for you to use your Sin. So if you don't have Sin, you can actually also use Diesel, any other defensive B2s. Actually, they're the two main defensive B2s, I guess. There's Noah technically, but Sin and Diesel is pretty good because this allows you to have just one burst through. And then the good thing about this team, Summer Anise synergizes with Sin and Scarlet, and Summer Anise synergizes with Privity, and Dorothy synergizes with Privity. And so this is one of the teams that could suggest, and basically your goal, just kind of this time around, you destroy these turrets. I would personally go one at a time. I would prioritize trying to destroy in this left side. I would try to prioritize destroying the missile launcher, the turret first, and then missile launcher on the left side. But on the right side, I would say I think the priority changes for the first half, and then I'll show it to you guys with this team instead. But Sin is pretty good in this situation because like she allows you to tank these shots, and then destroy this missile launcher first because it's pretty pesky, and then swap to turrets, and then just do a rotation again, left middle, and then there. So usually by the third spawn, or at least like with how my DPS is going, by the time I do my third spawn, they kind of stop attacking. So that's why you can kind of do it like that. And again, it's pretty easy, straightforward fight if you know kind of like the timing. I think the crucial part on this is using your burst timing. Cubes, I don't need no cubes. Look, we're doing fine without cubes, man. Actually, oh, how do I cancel? Oh my god, you were about to die. Okay, I'm gonna delay this. I made a mistake that I bursted too early, and I'm gonna burst here. There you go. Alright, so I'm jamming to this song. You guys might be hearing a different song this time around, but we're playing some Initial D in the background, but obviously YouTube stuff. So there you go. Pretty straightforward. Like first try, no resets. You guys see that? I don't even have cubes right now. Yeah, I don't have cubes right now. And that's kind of just like how the fight goes. another set. So the main crucial point is one, making sure that you have something to deal with the with the missile launchers and turrets. Really, once you get to that point, there is everything else is kind of pretty easy here. You just need to have enough shot here. And I guess if you guys are curious how I ran some of the comps that I will show, you guys can just go to my Twitch and just watch the VOD, and I will keep the VOD available, and you guys will notice it is pretty boomer hands friendly. You guys can go, like, I know before everyone's like, oh, you guys click too fast. Well, right now because of the macro and stuff, like, people are kind of worried about it. And so here are your boomer friendly guides, boomer friendly team comps, and yeah, let's go with that. Let me finish this, might as well. So as you can see, these are kind of like my 2 1 mil team comps. I have another 1 mil team comp as well. Easily just 2 teams for me, but obviously I have a pretty strong Summer Anise, and my Scarlet is kind of weak also. Fellow boomers rejoice. I know, it's crazy, right? And this is another team comp which is another big brain team comp, which basically it's a noise team comp. It doesn't matter what else you use, just use noise. Just use noise. And the idea is the same way how you do the fight. You just use noise to taunt, but I would just time your burst. And going back to my records, if I will show you, this team did 800 mil, 794 right here. And this one, we have a Snow White team comp, Snow White Maxwell novel, and then I just used Rapunzel because she is like a pretty good healer for me. A level 7 is working out for me. I'm pretty sure level 4 is enough if you guys play better, but I am a Pepega streamer, so I have like I have level 7 on it, and then volume just to reduce the cooldown, right? So you want to spam air burst as soon as possible. And this team did 886 mil, and I have, okay, so this one is like kind of like a throwaway because I kind of front loaded everything into the 4 teams that my team 5 was just this. Somehow it made it work. This team is a pretty genius team because you could actually use Folkwang. And the thing is, I forgot to mention in the fight, those turrets target your highest DPS. So based on the boss like thing, they will target the turrets, they will target the highest attack, not the DPS, highest attack. So you just, because Folkwang actually have a skill when she bursts where she has grants a shield to the highest attack, 2 allies with the highest attack. She ends up actually being a pretty good unit because most of the time your highest attack will be able to lifesteal pretty fast. It gives them 43% at level 4. It gives them 43% attack damage for 10 seconds, so you basically heal up pretty fast. Folkwang is a pretty good team. You could use them on a different team, so I'll show you a different team where you could use them. Not just the water team, because this water team, by the way, this water team managed to survive the whole 3 minutes of the fight, although it only did 300 mil. So but obviously because they have, none of them have overload and everything like that. If you replace some with like probably better DPS, I think that team would do better. And I think the core units here was Folkwang and Helm, because what you do is you burst with Folkwang on one burst and then Helm bursts on the other time, so you constantly have 100% leech lifesteal uptime every time you full burst for your highest DPS. which is like Folkwang and then Helm. But the Folkwang team where I actually managed to make good use of her is this. Where is that, chat? I had that. I'm blind. Oh, right here. This one. So I used Volume, Biscuit, Summer Anise, Scarlet, and then Folkwang. So Biscuit, Summer Anise, Scarlet, and Folkwang are like they kind of synergize with each other. Well, Biscuit and Summer Anise. So you want, when Summer Anise bursts, you want to line up. You want to burst also with Biscuit, and then the other time would be Folkwang. And basically Folkwang basically keeps Scarlet alive, and Biscuit also she has somewhat healing still. But then whenever Biscuit bursts, also Summer Anise is bursting. So typically it kind of works out that way, where you're bursting and destroying the turrets fast enough. In any case, it's all really about burst timing. If you can squeeze in an extra burst before the turrets respawn or before you handle the turret, then that is a better option. You could delay, or you could like try to burst fast so that you can squeeze another burst. So those are the things. Anyways, I will talk about the other teams that I've done. In total, I've done like 3 different attacks, and one did 4.5 because I tried to make these kind of like pretty boomer friendly, like safe for a lot of people. I have another separate like set where I did 4.4 and another with 4.0. The 4.5, this is what ended up I done. I have Volume with Snow White, Maxwell, Novel, Rapunzel, and then Miranda, Dala, Guillotine, Laplace, and then Noise. They did 800, and if anything, majority of the damage came from Guillotine. So it's whichever your main DPS is. Technically, you could actually use, for example, Alice. You could do that too. That is a possibility. So it's whichever like main DPS. This one is like whichever main DPS really. And this one, the main reason why this team kind of works is because Snow White and Maxwell do kind of synergize well with Novel. Ideally, I would use Litter, but then I use Litter on a different team. Regardless, they're kind of interchangeable, really. You could use Volume, you could use Litter, things like that. But Snow White and Maxwell synergizes with Novel because Snow White can actually charge full charge, and Novel will she will still catch up with Novel. Or Volume's 5-second burst, same with Litter. You could charge Snow White up to like 900% if you don't have any charge speed, and you will roughly still keep Litter's buff while bursting with Snow White. And then this is another team that I did. Did a 1.3 bill Litter and Bunny Girls, 3 Bunny Girls, and then Modernia. And then I showed you again the other one, which is the Anise, Scarlet, Brevity comp. And then the last team was the Water team comp, but it did 300. And I think if I would redo this differently, I would probably redistribute like some other DPS and put it on the last team to kind of do better. Now on the 4.4, which is essentially 4.5 also, they're roughly close to each other. This is the other team set that I did. I used Dorothy with Brevity. Dorothy, Brevity again synergize with each other, and then Helm is there to just heal everything. The one with the highest attack here is Modernia, so she was getting damage, but every time Helm bursts, Modernia is leeching the HP up. This has a little bit of tight timing, but you could do that as well. And then Guilty just does a lot of damage. And then this is the Litter, Novel, Snow White, Maxwell comp. It did 1 bill. I think it could do more. I'm pretty sure I just misplayed it, and since it was just mock, I wasn't like min-maxing it. I'm pretty sure this team could have done more also. And then another team, this is where I used two bunny girls, Alice, Miranda, and Dala, and it kind of just says like, oh, you're solo carry DPS with Alice, right? And then another team. So this is another one where you don't have like a cooldown reduction other than maybe Sakura left, then you could do partner her with Novel. So you could use Sakura, or not Novel, sorry, Noise, Sakura and Noise, so that they share the 40-second cooldown. And then Mask synergizes really well with Guillotine, because like every time you burst, she will lower Guillotine's HP, right? So even if Noise was healing, it actually synergizes well. But in all, at the end of the day, you can use Noise with any team. But the way I just see it is this one is like, at least you could make good use of the 40-second cooldown by taking advantage of this another 40-second cooldown. And then you can use Masked, and then Masked with Guillotine, and then another DPS. In this situation, I just kind of used Drake in this one. So let's do that. And then another one is, this is the other one, which is Volume, Biscuit, and Anis, and Scarlet, and Folkwang. So that's the other team that I talked about earlier. Biscuit and Folkwang with the Electric, Anis, and Scarlet, and then Volume. So, and then the 4 bill, this one was my first attempt, so that's why I wasn't used to a lot of the things. But here's another example into it. I used Privity on a different team, and I'll explain the reason why. But in this situation, I have Dorothy in a separate team comp with Scarlet, Helm, and obviously just Helm just healing both Scarlet and Modernia if or guilty. Like these are all basically like standalone units. They did 1 bill. And then this is another team with Snow White. I think I didn't use I forgot to use Novel in this set. So you'll just have to explore into it. You could probably use, I think you could, I probably would have used Volume and Novel with Snow White here, and then probably use Miranda and Dala in the Guillotine team comp. But you could do that. I just forgot on that one. But you can do the solo Scarlet or solo Snow White carry with this team comp, right? Like you have Miranda, you have Snow White, and I was using Yulha here. I think Yulha is replaceable because I kind of found it better to burst with Snow White first, and then so basically my Snow White was not really timing well with Yulha. Well, in any case, I'll let you guys figure that out. There are definitely a lot of adjustable things here. And then this one is another, just bunny girls. I put Alice with the bunny girls, but I think in the hindsight, I think you can just move Alice with a different team, and then you can probably put like, there is another team comp that someone showed, which is like Litter Bunny Girls with Scarlet and Modernia. So that one works too. So you guys could use that as well, and then puts Alice in like a separate team. And then this is another situation of just really, it's just really Noise that's carrying it. Noise just kind of makes the fight entirely easy because she kind of just solo tanks the rest of like the fight. And Volume, Diesel, and again, like another option you could do with Diesel is like with the Dorothy Scarlet team comp, you could do that. And the last one, which is what I want to explain why I split off Privity with Dorothy, is because Pepper actually works really well with Privity, and you manual attack with Pepper. So you have Pepper here and Privity and Summer Anise. So these 3 units synergize with one another. You have Pepper, you have Summer Anise, you have Privity. They all synergize with one another. And then I use Summer Helm here just for cooldown reduction. But you manual with Pepper and then just like hold left click button on Pepper so that she will heal constantly. With Privity, whenever Privity bursts, your Pepper will only have one bullet whenever she clip reloads once, and that way you can constantly just like focus on healing, which is pretty useful. And then I just had like another DPS, which is like Maxwell here in this situation. But yeah, as I showed, there are so many different situations here, and I haven't updated just yet, but the Union Raid solo raid guide sheet, I will update this. I haven't like updated it just yet, but I will add like the different team comps that I find. As usual, chat, I will put the links down below so you guys can observe that. But in any case, I think this boss fight is actually, initially it seemed like it's pretty hard, but once you understood like the mechanics and just kind of like the timing on how it works, it's more about just like, do you have the units to kind of deal with the turrets, right? Once that's happened. But otherwise, yeah, good luck, gamers. I will try to, again, like I probably missed so many more other team comps. I could like quit right now and then check like the top rankings here. Some of the top people have been very creative. I haven't like done my real run yet, so that's why I haven't like ranked yet. But people have been reaching 5 mil, and they are distributing, the way they have been ranking up is they have been distributing their DPS into like more situations, right? Like you have Summer Anise carrying on one, you have Guillotine carrying on one, you have Snow White carrying on one, and then you have Alice, and then you have Scarlet. But in general, that is overall the guide. This boss fight doesn't have any RNG. It's really more just like playing around the mechanics, which is pretty good. They removed the attack or the RNG behind this boss. See, like the way they're targeting is always like the highest attack, and so one way to kind of work around it is like using taunt instead, or just like destroying it fast enough if you're strong enough. But yeah, gamers, I kind of expect this to have like 6 bill plus by the end. I'm pretty sure a lot of people are withholding their best team comps, but I think I kind of expect this to reach about 6 bill plus. And yeah, that's about it, boys. No more RNG. Yes, Pog, yeah. Good luck, gamers. As usual, make sure to check me out at twitch.tv/SkyJLV, and I'll see you guys next time.